Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the GG Report. We're glad that you're tuned in. And today we are excited that we have something very interesting to discuss. Now, remember, the GG Report is a platform where we address big, bold ideas and have honest conversations. And I do hope that you will learn something today, and we are excited to have you back and to be back on this show. My guests, I have a special guest with me, Bishop Paul Kilo. Welcome to the program today.
Thank you so much, Pastor Gigi.
Good to have you. Good to have you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to us our guest, Bishop Paul Kilo is the General Overseer of the Gospel Lighthouse Ministries, and he and his wife, Reverend Margaret Kilo, they live in America, in a city called Middletown, Delaware, and in the United States. And Paul and his wife, they have lived in America for the last 17 years.
That's right.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So today we are going to be having a very interesting conversation with my guest, and I believe that as we unravel some of the issues today, I believe you will learn something. The subject of our discussion is the American experience. Many people have dreams of living abroad. You know, people want to immigrate. Sometimes you feel like maybe there are opportunities out there that I need to take advantage of and all that. And Paul immigrated to the United States some 17 years ago, and America has been in the limelight in the last currently, as you all well know, those who follow television. And so I think Paul has a very big story to tell us. And while we're thinking about America, what's going on in America, I think we want to unravel the American experience, and hear from you, because you have a very, very good experience. So first of all, maybe just tell us, introduce yourself a little bit more, you know, and then tell us more specifically the vision you had and your journey to the United States.
Thank you so much, Pastor Gigi, and I'm glad to be here.
Right.
Now, I've been in America for the last 17 years, and the initial desire for me to go was to make money.
Okay.
As much as I was born again here, and I was a pastor, and I was ordained minister here, when the time came that God opened those doors,
yes,
I did not see more preaching than making money, dollar. So that was the greatest thing that pulled me to go.
Okay.
And everybody has their own experience.
Yes.
I would say so.
Yes.
Somebody else who will sit here
Yes.
may talk something different from me, because as Christians, sometimes some people have favors, some people have just leading of God,
Yes.
and the path is just straight. Others have a hard time.
Yes.
So I'll speak from my experience, which does not make it the general thing about America. I'm just talking about me and my wife and my ministry. So this should not be rated and somebody argue about it.
Yes.
Because it is me.
Yes.
Now, as a young man, when I was young, I'll begin there.
Yes.
I remember when we were cultivating at home.
Right.
I had a desire to get into the plane.
Right.
I didn't know where the plane was going to Dubai or to America, but I just one day said I will climb that thing. And I remember one time we were digging.
Yes.
And I stopped my mother and I said, with my siblings, and some of them will watch this episode if they can watch, and then comment down there whether it is true. Because I said, I stopped my mama and I said to my siblings, one day I will go with the plane.
Yes.
I wasn't even born again, but I had that desire just to climb the plane.
Okay.
And so when I stopped my mom, I said to her, hey, mom, one day I will go. She said, those are the stories that bring laziness in the farm.
Oh.
So she picked the dirt, threw it at me, and then kazi.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what we're
you're
doing.
being lazy.
I'm being lazy. I'm bringing stories. I'm bringing stories instead of cultivating.
You need to be working, not dreaming.
Exactly.
in the farm.
But I had that dream deeply rooted in my heart.
Right.
And I remember even when I was doing my wedding in 1995, I got a job to fly out to Madagascar. I'm a carpenter by profession, a mason.
All right.
So they were hiring masons and carpenters to go and do, I think, airport or something.
Yes.
And so I got that contract, but then I had just wedded.
Yes.
So I cancelled that.
Okay.
And I didn't go. So anyway, later, when I got my green card applications,
yes,
we applied.
Yes.
My wife was not even so much for it. It took me a while because they need the picture and all that. She wasn't always ready. But finally, I got it done.
Yeah.
And when we went 17 years ago, I was going to make money.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
I think I like that because I like the bit about the vision and the dream you had. You saw the planes up there. Me too, by the way. When I was growing up, would see the planes in the skies, and I would also dream. One day, I actually used to dream that I would be the pilot, the engineer. So I was interested in the mechanics of how that thing could fly. Mm-hmm. And so when I was choosing high school, I chose a high school which was associated with some flying experience. And so, and I went there. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we didn't become pilots. We did a little bit of a course. Yeah. I began leaning towards engineering. But today we are talking about you. We are talking about your dream.
Right.
So you had this dream like Joseph.
Yes,
the dream, Joseph the dreamer. Mm-hmm. And you were dreaming that one day you'll be on that thing, you'll be flying to some places. And we see now an inspiration when you're applying for your green card.
Yes.
You're convinced that this thing is going to work.
When I applied, actually, I had, first of all, I applied twice.
Yes.
The first one was some guys on the internet would advertise.
Yes.
That they can help you to do the application.
Yes.
So when I applied, I sent to them, then they sent me the forms.
Yes.
I thought those were the forms to go to America.
Yes.
So I announced to everybody that I am going, only to realize that this was now to apply again.
Yes.
Those were, there are brokers everywhere.
Yes.
There are people who are on the internet waiting. If you don't know how to fill it, we can do it for you. So I thought they were the one. So I applied to them.
Yes.
Then they sent me, and then they asked for some charges.
Yes.
And before I realized that it wasn't the right one, I had already made the application everywhere. Everybody knew.
Yes.
He was going.
Yeah, you're going to America.
So later when I saw the money they were asking for applying, I asked somebody who had gone there. He told me, no, it's applied for free. You don't pay nothing.
Yes.
Then he told me those are brokers. The brokers are everywhere,
yes,
on the internet everywhere.
Yes.
So anyway, later I applied.
Yes.
And I don't know, we're talking about the vision here, but I applied. I applied just like that.
Yes.
And when it came, of course I went. But I wanted to say this about the vision. Why, do we get to the church part, or we are still talking about going?
Just the vision of and the journey, the vision and the journey. So you had a vision.
Yes.
And then you applied and the green card.
It came through my wife, who didn't want to go.
Okay.
I'm the one who was so much interested.
Yes.
So when we applied, because I was married and I had, of course, marriage certificate, I did twice.
Yes.
Mine and my wife. So she was a sponsor and I was a sponsor on one side. So
yes.
I sponsored her, she sponsored me. So hers is the one that passed. So we went through her name.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Very good. So, and 17 years ago, how was the whole journey? How did you organize yourself? Did you have to sell things here and all that? So now, that bit.
By the grace of God, when I was getting to go to America, the last 2 years, I had started making good money.
Okay.
So good that some people were wondering, why are you choosing to go? Because I was working with insurance. I was with the Pan-Africa Insurance at the time. I don't know, maybe they have changed names. 17 years, things are changing.
Yes.
I had become a manager with Pan-Africa, citizen.
Yes.
And I was making good money.
Yes.
So when I was going, I didn't sell anything
in
my house. Mm-hmm. I gave out.
Okay.
Just I gave out gas cooker, the bed, everything.
All right.
Because I was going. I didn't think I would be coming back soon. Now I'll be coming to buy what I gave out, which was okay. Yes. So I gave out things. Okay. I didn't sell. I had a plot in Kidrai. I didn't sell because I could afford. And I had a very good brother whom we fellowshiped together with at the time. Yes. He had gone before me, and of course, he sent me some money. I can't remember, $2,000. I can't remember how much it was. Yeah. Just to assist me. But I was good enough. Yeah. And we flew one day with my 3 kids and my wife. Okay. One ticket. One ticket. One way. And it was possible.
I think I like that. It became possible. It was possible. God's grace was upon you. There was a vision, and you could see it unfolding. And we thank God for that. So please, viewers, continue to engage with us. We have numbers on the screen at the bottom. You can send in a text, a comment. You can also engage us on our social media platforms and comment and maybe ask a question and interact with us the best way you can. So, Bishop, yes, so you landed in America with your young family of your wife and 3 children, and you began your American journey. So, how was your first years, and then the idea of raising a young family in America?
Now that's where what I was talking about was happy moments. Yes. When you land in the United States of America, particularly if you are a man from the African descent, an African, real African. Yes. There's a lot that you have to adjust. Yes. To fit in the society. Yes. Because number one, I went with 3 children. Yes. The last born was 3 months. Wow. And the second born was going to 4 years. Yes. First born was going to 7 years. Yes. They were all young children. Yes. And when we got there, you cannot survive on one person's salary. Yes. You must both work. Mm-hmm. So remember, when I was here, we had a house girl, we had sisters, we had people to take care of. Yeah, you had family members around you. People, you are kind of a king. I mean, you are in the house, you just say, the water is boiling. Come, or the milk is boiling. Yes. Come and take care of this. Yes. In America, you boil the milk yourself. And I remember when my wife chose to go to school, which I supported so much. Yes. And she started. And so many times I was left with the children. Yes. Remember, my last born was 3 months, 1 year, continuing. Yes. I had to learn how to change diapers because we don't have house girls. Yes. I had to learn how to wash them. Yes. Bath, bathe the baby. Yes. Put them in bed and stuff. Yes. And I remember one time, because we had to make a living. Yes. My wife had to work at night. Yes. And I worked day, or vice versa. Exactly. Because one has to be at home. Yes. And I remember some moments when my wife would come to work from work at 3. I chose to work at night. Yes. Because of course she's going to school and the children are at home at night. Yes. And I come during daytime, I sleep. Mm-hmm. It was also hard to sleep because I used to go to work I think it was it 4:30, 6, somewhere there, and come at night and like 4 in the night. Yes. And then when I come, I have 2 hours in bed with my wife, and then she wakes up to go. Yes. And when she's coming back at 3, yes, I'm supposed to be leaving. I remember sometimes I would be in my car. Yes. And when I see her, I just flash my car, the lights. Yes. The kids are there because you cannot leave them alone. Yes. And then I go. Mm-hmm. That is not an easy life. That's a very, very difficult life. And so I think, like as you say, the American experience, raising a young family and having to work 2 jobs and all that. And remember, your dream was to make money. Well, it was to make money. But let me say this, like I said earlier, this is my personal experience. It may not fit in any, a few will fit with it. Yes. Because being born again and loving Jesus and the favor of God may make things a little bit easier for a Christian. Yes. But this kind of a life becomes harder in families. Yes. Where you are seeing your wife 2 hours at night, if you came at night, and maybe during weekends and here and there. Yes. A lot of people grow apart instead of growing together. Mm-hmm. You find that you are connecting more with the people you are working with. Yes. Because you have time with them than your wife. Mm-hmm. That's why you hear there is a lot of divorce, a lot of separations, and a lot of people that are just growing up, children waiting to divorce at a point because they have grown apart.
They have grown apart
Yes.
because of the nature of the
setup of life.
The setup of life.
It does not allow too much bonding.
Yes.
But by the grace of God, it didn't go that way with me. I would say this because, of course, children are growing.
Yes.
After a while, they will start going to school.
Yes.
And so you can go to work, both of you, in the morning.
Yes.
And by the time they come back in the evening, you meet in the evening. So it doesn't always have to be what I started with.
Yes.
After a while, after 3, 4, 5, 6 years,
yes,
you are likely going to start adjusting a little bit. The firstborn would come to an age of taking care of the siblings such that you have a few things you can now adjust.
Yeah, you can adjust a few things. And now when you send your kids to school in the morning,
you could also
9
go to
o'clock,
work.
I assume.
Yeah,
in the US, they go to school at 9.
They go to 9. Actually, it varies.
It
Sometimes,
varies.
like if you have 3 kids, one could be picked at 6, another one at 7, another one at 9, depending on
on the school.
Yeah, some high school. Yeah. But
Yeah,
anyway,
so-
by 9,
Yeah.
every kid has gone to school.
Yeah, so now you can step out and do a short kind of short-term work at around 3 o'clock, when now you need to be back in the house.
Particularly my wife,
Yes.
when after the kids have gone to school,
Yes.
she would go to school herself.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I could be working. I could have left maybe earlier in the morning at 6.
Okay.
And then she sets up the children to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes to her class.
Yes.
And by the time they start coming,
Yes.
she's also back, and I'm back
Okay.
also from work.
Okay.
And then later, my wife did a lot of weekend jobs because
Okay.
of the schoolwork, her
Okay.
schoolwork.
Okay.
She worked from, I think, Friday night. She used to do, America, there is a jobs that you could do 2 shifts at, 16-hour
Yes.
job.
Yes.
So you do 2 shifts, that's 32,
Yes.
and 1 more shift.
Yes.
And I remember there was a time she worked, how do I remember well? I remember she went to work 2 shifts in a row. She only comes a break of 8 hours to sleep.
Yes.
And that 8 hours includes the driving home
Yes.
and driving work. So when I say 8 hours, I'm just saying she could be sleeping 5 hours. But she must drive home
Yes.
and shower and sleep. And within the 8 hours, you'd have had enough sleep.
Yes.
And there's still time to go to work because, 24 hours, she has to report at 3.
Yes.
She clocked out at 7 in the morning.
Yes.
And she's going back at 3.
Yes.
That's an 8-hour shift window.
Yes.
But she's not staying at the place of work. She has to come home. You know what I'm saying? So when I say 8 hours, I'm not just saying 8 hours full.
Yes.
She could be having she has a kid who may need to breastfeed. It was hard.
It is. I think clearly what you're saying is that, some of these dreams we have, and especially moving to America, moving to a foreign country, and America for that matter, what you're saying is it's not a walk in the park.
No.
It's not easy to be able to raise a family and make sense out of it and get things moving. But I guess, like you're saying, it gets easier as your children grow and as they become a little bit more independent, and then you get to settle, you get to routines and patterns. The education, you're done now with when your wife got done with her education, she had a little bit more time now.
She has not. Well, she was done during this COVID-19. She's been but you see now, kids kept on growing. At some point, you are like all adults in the house.
So everybody look after everybody else.
Everybody cook for themselves.
All right.
And that becomes very easy. So
Yes.
even if you want to go to school, every time you want to go to school,
Yes.
is easier. But the first few days, particularly people with young kids,
Yes.
or getting pregnant there and giving birth there,
Yes.
when somebody's flying to United States, and maybe even to diaspora, let me put it that way.
Yes.
But my experience is USA.
Yes.
There is need for some introduction and some induction, some coaching.
Yes.
Before you leave here.
Yes.
And in fact, there are some people that are here.
Yes.
If I saw them wanting to come to USA,
Yes.
I would tell them, you are better off here.
Yes.
They may not agree with me. They may think I'm denying them an opportunity. They may not. They may look at me like, you really mean you want to tell me not to?
Not
There
to
are
go out
people
there and
that are
make
here
money.
that are better off here.
Exactly.
I have seen in my watch pastors,
Yes.
men and women of God,
Yes.
people that are born again, loving Jesus, having a hard time to cope with the American dream and the American life,
Yes.
and their lives, and everything goes haywire.
Yes.
And I've seen many separate, divorce, not because their children are small. No, even when they grow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This is my personal experience, that God has been faithful and he has favored me a lot.
Yes.
That me and my wife are like this.
Yes.
We started, another thing, we started a church. I don't know whether we will be coming to that later, but
yes, we'll come to the doing ministry in America. Yes,
okay.
We'll come to that after the break.
After the break, okay. Now, but what I want to say is, there are people that I would tell them, don't stay in Kenya.
Don't go to America, because especially the stage where they are in life. So would you say that it probably makes more sense if you need to move to a country, to move early in life than to move later? Like, for example, at my age, moving to America right now, I don't know how that would work for me, and my wife and stuff. Is there an age?
You must be in agreement with your wife, number one.
Yes.
That you're going. Now, I have seen this, and this might be a laughing thing. Some people might laugh at this.
Yes.
If you have been a mean guy here,
yes,
I have seen this happen a lot.
Say,
for example, you are the breadwinner, your wife does some small hustling here and there.
Yes.
You pay the rent, you pay school fees, and then when you go there, America tends to favor women.
Okay.
Yeah, because women adapt easy into things.
Yes.
Now, if you have been such a harsh guy,
yes,
I have seen some women go there and become now, because now America, if you can't touch her, you cannot push her around. She can call 911.
Oh yes, she can call,
and you will be given restraining orders. Don't be seen 500 meters or 100 meters or a kilometer or whatever.
Yes.
And at some point they might even put you something here to monitor your movements.
Okay.
If you are that kind of a man.
Yes.
And so some women, and I would sorry to say this, but it has happened.
Yes.
I've seen it.
Yes.
When they remember how you harassed them in Githurai.
Yes.
You harassed her in Kiangishiri or wherever you lived.
In Kasarani. In
Kasarani, I remember.
In Zimmerman, when you were living in Zimmerman, you were such a terror.
When she gets there, and if God does not deliver her from those moments and experience, and she gets herself a job, and at that time it could be better paying job.
Yes.
She could easily go to do a nursing job or whatever course she does, and she gets a job.
Yes.
Also, there are these healthy jobs, like taking care of old men and old women, such thing. It's not so much for men.
Yes.
If you change the diaper since you were young, when going to change a diaper on an adult, it doesn't sit well.
I know what you're talking about. Interestingly, for me, Bishop, I had a stint. We lived in the in UK for three years, slightly more than 3 years.
Right.
So I have that kind of experience. I know what you're talking about, and I know it is not easy to adopt to the American Western world experience. I mean, the jobs are different, the environment is different, how you make money is different. You actually look, when you compare that and here, you're probably better off here, where you are a boss, a big guy, people respect you.
I know.
When you arrive in the office, you are.
Somebody's bringing you tea.
Somebody's bringing you tea.
Wiping. In America, you do everything for yourself.
Oh yes, you sort yourself out, right?
And if you didn't, you are not prepared for that.
Yes.
You're going into depression. You wonder, they called you boss.
Yes.
They called you sir.
Yes.
They called you manager.
Yes.
Mr. CEO or Mr. Accountant, whatever it is you want.
Okay.
When you go there, you might also begin with the low-paying jobs.
Yes.
Working with people that have no intellectual levels like you. Because
exactly.
Remember, I have seen people that were lecturers at JKU.
Yes.
They were lecturers. They worked with. They have degrees here. And
they have serious
diplomas here.
Postgraduate qualifications.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they go there, they go to work with these group homes, and they are being paid.
Working in McDonald's.
Such.
Work in restaurants.
When you look at them, if you knew them.
Yes.
When you look at them, you pity them.
Okay.
Now for me, I wasn't a big guy here.
Yes.
So when I went there,
you were a technician. So when you're there,
I was just a simple guy here. So to me, I can easily mingle with others there.
No, I think Bishop, I hope we can find time to talk about this. But I think one of the things that I've discovered is like the way we value education in our culture, and those are some of the cultural economic dynamics. The way we value skills here and all that, you find when you go to the West, technical skills, your technician, you're a plumber, or a carpenter,
mason,
or a mechanic, or a mason, a builder. Those are high value professions.
By the way, let me tell you this. You know, I'm a carpenter, I told you that.
Yes.
I did carpentry here, and I was a technical teacher here. I did masonry here. Let me just say this to the viewer.
Yeah.
I am this guy that has these two courses at different times. I trained as a mason.
Yes.
Then I went back to train as a carpenter.
Yes.
So I had both skills.
Yes.
With the certification to show, not just to learn on the job.
Yes.
And so when I went there, I went and found a job.
Yes.
Dealing, fixing carpets for people, doing stuff for people, and they paid well.
Yes.
And one time I made a house. A lady bought a house, and she wanted me to fix, carpet and painting, because that's my job. So when I went, I had vowed. Let me put it. Can I go back to tell you something?
Yeah, we're going to come back to this conversation because there's a lot we can talk about.
Okay.
And I can see, because we talked about your first years, how you settled, the kind of the shift in jobs and all that, and the fact that now you have some technical skills, and how you began now to find your way into the workplace, into the where you now begin to make some money and stuff like that.
I want to say this, and I will say it in a minute.
Yes.
When I went there, we began a church immediately.
Yes.
So I didn't attend any other denomination. We began a church the first week.
Okay.
Yes. And so people knew I'm a carpenter, and I'm a mason. I could fix, I could paint.
Yes.
And so the only people I knew were the Kenyan people.
Yes.
And so they gave me jobs. I remember one lady gave me a job to go. She bought a house. I wanted to fix her basement and stuff.
Yes.
I went and did.
Yes.
And then at the payment time is when the Kenyan thing, when they say I expected money or that.
Yeah.
She didn't pay me. I came home, I told my wife, enough. I'm not going to paint for anybody. I'm a pastor. I don't want to go to church.
We will come back to that. Your first experience was rather interesting because here you're very enthusiastic worker, and now you get this job from some Kenyan, American of Kenyan extraction.
Yes.
All right, good. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to a break, and when we come back, we're going to hear more of Bishop Paul's Kilu's experience, the American experience, and I believe that you're learning something. So you can write to us, call, text, and comment on the social media platforms, and let's keep the conversation going. This is the GG Report, where we have big, bold conversations, honest conversations, and I believe you're learning something today. So we're going on a short break. We'll come back. We'll continue with the conversation with Bishop.